guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be another tag video, and I know I normally don't do this many tag videos in a row. I say this many, I've only done one last week. But anyway, today is a special exception because today is the official release date of The Raven King by Maggie Stiefvater. I actually ordered my copy of The Raven King from Fountain Bookstore. That is gonna come with like a little Maggie doodle as well as a book plate. It still hasn't shipped yet, but that's fine. I'm going off on a tangent again. Point is, today I'm going to do the Raven Cycle book tag, and this tag was originally created by Michelle and Let's Book About It, I believe. I'll have both of their links down below for you guys to go and check out. And this is a tag of 10 questions, so I am going to get started. The first question is, in the book, Maura is the relaxed mom that is more Blue's friend than actual mothering presence. Because she's not a regular mom, she's a cool mom. So who is your favorite mom character? Of course I had to go with Mrs. Weasley from Harry Potter. She is the best mother figure in the entire world. Not only because she is just an amazing mother in general, like to her own children, but she became Harry's surrogate mother, as well as Hermione's even. Like, she just accepts everybody, she loves everybody. She is just the epitome of like comfort and love, and I just love Mrs. Weasley so much. Question number 2. Adam wanted to go to Aglionby so he could one day escape where he came from. Have you ever dreamt of living somewhere else? If so, where? But I guess if this calls for like a more realistic option, I've always wanted to live in England, somewhere in England, or more recently, South Korea. Third question is, in the second book, we meet the Grey Man. He is a hitman who loves poetry. Spoiler. Name a book that you thought was going to be one thing, but turned out to be something else. The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. So meta. I had very different expectations when I first read this book, because if you read the synopsis, it sounds very much like a romance-driven novel, and it's so not that. Like, obviously the romance is a very important element in the story. If Blue kisses her true love, he's going to die. So that's always been like one of the underlying themes or underlying plot points, I guess, in the story, but it's not just about that. Like, this really explores the characters, the mythology, like just there's so many other things surrounding this story that honestly this just doesn't do it justice. I definitely jumped into this expecting it to be something completely different, and then it was just so not that. Gansey has searched most of his life for a buried king who has promised to grant one wish. What is one wish you would ask Glendower? I'm dividing this into like realistic and super unrealistic. Unrealistic would be that I could jump in and out at will of any and all fictional worlds. I think that would be really, really cool. For the more realistic thing that could actually happen, this is gonna be very, very boring, but basically it's been my wish since I was a little girl, just that I could have a very successful career so that I could one day help my parents out. This has been a modified wish, by the way, because when I was little it used to be that I would be a millionaire and that I would buy my parents a house and cars. Now I'm realizing that I'll be lucky enough if I could buy myself a house and a car. I mean, it's a very boring wish, but that's just something that I've definitely been wishing a lot lately. Question number 5. Greenmantle is the villain of the story. In this series, you get to see him as a human being, but also corrupt. Name your favorite villain. The first person that comes to mind for this question is Snape. However, I do realize that Snape is not necessarily a villain per se. He's more of just an asshole. I think he's definitely a lot more in that gray area where he's not necessarily a villain because he is working with the good guys, but he's definitely not a good guy either. I mean, I definitely think he's more of just like a man-child who gets off on freaking bullying little kids, but that's a topic for another video. I think that if I had to pick an actual villain, Lavanna from the Lunar Chronicles. Lavanna is very, very messed up. And if you read Fairest, you know how messed up she is. I know a lot of people have a lot of problems with this book in particular because they don't think that it really added much to the story. I completely disagree. I think it shows how messed up Lavanna's life was, but it also shows that just because she had this super messed up life, it doesn't condone her actions. It doesn't make them forgivable, and you realize really the extent of her selfishness and just how messed up of a person she was. I don't know if I've said this to you guys before, but after reading this, I really expected her downfall to be a lot more dramatic in Winter, and I don't think that it was as dramatic as I wanted it to be. Like, she definitely deserved a lot worse than she got. I don't like her. I don't condone her actions at all, but she's just a very interesting character that I really, really liked to hate. I like to hate her. Blue's got her Raven Boys. Who makes up your bookish team? Is this real people or fictional people? I'm gonna go with fictional people. I think that's what they mean. First person on my team would be Ginny Weasley. You guys know she is my child. She is my everything. She is everything that I want to be. She is one of the most underrated characters in Harry Potter. I love her to death. I want her on my team. And then I picked Liam from The Darkest Minds because he is adorable. He is one of my fictional boyfriends and I just love him so much. He's one of like my more realistic fictional boyfriends, if you know what I mean. Like, I could see myself actually falling for a guy like Liam Stewart, like IRL in real life, which sucks because I don't think guys like Liam Stewart actually exist in real life, but you know, a girl can dream. Aiko from the Lunar Chronicles, because I just think she's hilarious and she'd be like the best, funniest, most awesome friend I could have. And Isla from Isla and the Happily Ever After. I think I really relate to Isla in a lot of things, and I just think she'd be a really cool person that I would get along with. Ronan is a badass with a sensitive side. Yeah, he is. What book have you read that was action-packed but had beautiful emotional scenes as well? This is the book that first caught my eye. The Darkest Minds by Alexander Bracken. You guys know that I absolutely love this book and I just want more people to read it. So if you haven't read it already, please do. It has like road trip aspects. It's dystopian. You fall in love with the characters and everything that they go through. There's so many things that happen, but then ultimately, like at the core of this book is the friendship, and this friendship group is just amazing. It's very action-packed but emotional, and you fall in love with the friends, and it's just a really good book. Please read it. Okay, question number 8. Noah is my favorite Raven boy because he has a heart of gold. He does. Who has touched your heart recently? This one has been a recent addition to my fictional boyfriends list. It is Elias from An Amber in the Ashes. I loved him. He's just... Number 9. Kaya? Kala? How do you pronounce it? I don't think I've ever actually said her name out loud, so I'm not entirely sure how you pronounce it. Kala is a woman who speaks her mind and puts her foot down when necessary. Who is your favorite strong female character? I think for this question, a lot of people's first instinct would be to pick someone like Selena, for example, from like the Throne of Glass series, just because she is so badass. But actually, I'm going a different direction with this, and I am picking Ginny from Harry Potter. I know this is the first one and she doesn't really show up on this book, but yeah, Ginny possesses a lot of strength as a person. And like I said, she's one of my favorite freaking characters of all time, and I think that she's really, really underappreciated. She is very, very strong, but not in the way that a lot of people interpret strength to be. She is someone who like grew up with all brothers, and she taught herself how to fly, and not only did she teach herself how to fly, but she became like part of the freaking Quidditch team. She went on to become a freaking professional Quidditch player and then a journalist, and she always was able to hold her own. She was a great witch, she was a great friend, and maybe most importantly, which this is something that I think a lot of people take for granted when it comes to Ginny, she fought off Voldemort when she was 11 years old, just as Harry did. And I think that a lot of people forget that. Voldemort was living in this poor girl's head for an entire year, and she tried so hard to like get rid of him and protect Harry. Guys, Ginny is such an underrated character and I just love her so much. We should all be like Ginny. Last question. Chainsaw is an awesome Raven boy pet. If you could have one exotic pet, what would it be? And what would you name it? A phoenix. I think I would name him Felix. Felix the Phoenix. That goes. I'm terrible at naming things. Don't ever let me name anything. My first pet was named Pulga, which means flea. And then her son was named Pulgo, which was supposed to be like the male form of Pulga, but it's not an actual word, so I just named him Pulgo. Yeah, like I said, don't let me name things. So that was it, guys. Those were the 10 questions for this tag. If you guys love the Raven cycle, do this tag. It's a lot of fun. That is gonna be it for this video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it, and let's just hope and pray that Gansey doesn't suffer too much in this last book. Guys, let's just do a prayer circle and just... I'm not ready. That's it for now, guys. I'll see you next time. This video is going to be the intimidating book tag.